the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, Charles, this Ravens team has been so successful in recent years, 10 or more wins in 4 of the last 5 seasons. What do they need to do to take that next step?
Well, the way the Ravens have played for a lot of their franchise history, we know the defense is going to take care of business. They're going to keep you in every ball game. I think on offense, can they throw the ball more proficiently, especially out wide to the receivers, and make plays that way to continue to open up running lanes for a team that we know loves to move the ball along the ground.
Well, meanwhile, for the visiting Lions, they're going to be a pretty trendy sleeper pick. I feel obligated contractually to mention that they've only won 1 playoff game since 1957, and that number gets more and more impossible every year. But finally, Charles Davis, can they break the string in 2023?
Break it, snap it, cut it, whatever you want to use. This Lions team, I fully expect to be in the playoffs in 2023. I like the way that they're being built.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Right to the air. Here is Goff. He'll find his rookie tight end, Sam Laporta. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
2nd and 10, Goff again. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
You see this a lot on corner blitzes because they don't often get a shot at the quarterback, so they want to take it when they can. But this time, the hit came too late. Easy call for the official.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
1st down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And it looks like one of the DBs hit. And I do believe this is going to line up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play?
Partner, I know I'm supposed to really describe what happened there. I'm counting on you for this one. That was one weird play.
Well, what I was going to ask you, in these situations, shouldn't these guys just dive on the football around the goal line rather than try to make a heroic return?
That's what they're taught, but sometimes in the heat of battle, that heroic stuff comes to the front when you really don't need it.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. This is taken at the 23. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw on second down is gone. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
All the talk of Jackson leaving the Ravens this offseason was just that, talk. As the two sides hammered out a deal that made the highest paid player in the NFL. And why would they want to separate? When he has the ball in his hands, great things typically happen.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And this one's incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in the game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And some room to maneuver. Gets past one man. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards, and he'll take this one down near the 15. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1 yard gain. Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll run here with Edwards. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards, a 6-yard touchdown run, and the Ravens have taken the lead. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Goff on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Off play action. Here's Goff. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
This will be fielded at the 17. That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Every now and then, you have some volleyball training actually comes into play as a defender. When a ball's tipped in the air, nice play by the defense, got a hand on it, but when it's in the air, it's up for grabs. And too many times in this league, we've seen great plays happen for an offense as a result of a ball tipped in the air. So what you really want to do is be that guy who comes off the back line and spikes it, knocks it to the ground. Don't let them have that opportunity.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
The Lions offense set to take over. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gallop the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away, and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
So if we've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. They go play action now. Jackson shakes off the sand. Flushed out right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They'll try and run for the 1st with Edwards. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Still on his feet. And all the way in for the Ravens. Touchdown. Gus Edwards with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Tucker now to add the point after. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was polished off by the Gus Edwards touchdown run. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. And Detroit getting set to go now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Goff. He completes it to Jones. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. He'll find Jones again, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jack Fox on to punt. It's taken to the 26. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Jackson leaves it with Edwards on the draw. We'll get this up to about the 44. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I have to think that when that ball was tipped in the air, the guys on defense, their hopes started rising. They were looking for a big play, something that would change the momentum of the game and get it moving back in their direction because they struggled slowing down this team here in the first half.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Jackson on 1st down. And that is caught downfield by Beckham. And all the way in for the Ravens. Touchdown. Odell Beckham, 48 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Tucker now for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's OBJ, Odell Beckham, who ends it with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down. Goff. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
To throw is Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
A final shot before break here. Goff. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On third down, here's Edwards. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Back to the ground. It's Hill. Shifts by him. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Edwards now on 1st and 10. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. And it gives him a nice pickup. 105 yards on the ground for him so far. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Play action. It's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. There's Flowers. He's got it. Touchdown, Ravens. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. A 10-play drive that time, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
That's a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. That's to about the 28, 2nd down coming up.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing is Jackson. Underneath here to Hill. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. The partner is still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the 4th quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
There he goes again, and he gets this one down to the 24. 39 yards there, a big one. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a first down carry. It's Hill. A beautiful fake. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more on that one and another first down.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball.
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first quarter.
They were gone in the first quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop it.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Now Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Edwards. And the Ravens are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. But Charles, in this win, they've really just had one speed, and that's been all out. They're still driving the ball downfield despite the circumstances and the big lead, and they just continue to find ways to get into the end zone with ease.
They're certainly in that zone where almost everything they try is successful and often leads to points. Teams don't get those types of games very often, so when they do, many of them just want to take advantage of it to the last second.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. So out now come the Lions. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
From the gun, here's Goff. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Lions on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. Yeah, this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Baltimore's offense starting another drive. It's Gus Edwards at running back. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Now a 3rd and 6. From the gun, they go to Edwards. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using...
They got his man complete. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, when you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.